Hello, welcome to the Searchlight podcast. We are talking about the Guardian's sacrifice in today's episode. Once upon a time in a bustling city, there were two rival gangs, the Red Roses and the Black Panthers. Both gangs were notorious for their criminal activities, frequently fighting over territory and control of illegal operations. Among the members of the Red Roses was a young man named Marco, known for his sharp wit and quick temper. Across the divide, in the ranks of the Black Panthers, there was another young man named Carlos, equally infamous for his cunning and ruthlessness. One fateful night, Marco found himself in a precarious situation. He had been cornered by a rival gang member in a dark alley, outnumbered and outmatched. As blows rained down on him, Marco felt hopeless. Unknown to Marco, Carlos happened to be going through that alley on an operation for his own group. Carlos approached cautiously, anticipating a possible ambush. However, what he witnessed astonished him. Despite their bitter rivalry, Carlos couldn't stand idly by and watch as Marco was brutally beaten. With a surge of unexpected compassion, Carlos intervened, driving away Marco's attackers and saving him from certain harm. At first, Marco was astonished. Why would a member of the Black Panthers come to his aid? But as Carlos helped him to his feet, Marco realized that perhaps there was more to their enmity than it appeared. Unwillingly, Marco thanked Carlos for his timely intervention, and the two parted ways without exchanging another word. However, the encounter left a profound impact on both of them. In the days that followed, Marco couldn't shake off the memory of Carlos's unexpected act of compassion. Similarly, Carlos found himself questioning the senseless violence that had consumed their lives for so long. A few weeks later, Marco and Carlos crossed paths again, this time in a chaotic scene at a bustling nightclub known as a neutral ground for various gangs. A shootout broke out, and innocent customers were caught in the crossfire. In the midst of the chaos, Marco and Carlos found themselves back-to-back, unconsciously defending one another. Their united efforts helped to stop the violence, and they were once again forced to form an unlikely friendship. Their fragile friendship continued to develop as they met in secret, away from the prying eyes of their gang members. They told incidents about their life, exposing the challenges that had driven them to join gangs. Marco's sharp wit was matched by Carlos's cleverness, and they understood they shared more similarities than differences. One night, Marco and Carlos stumbled upon a human trafficking operation run by a corrupt city official with ties to both gangs. Shocked by the brutality, they decided to take matters into their own hands. With careful planning, they sabotaged the operation and freed the captives, leaving a trail of evidence that exposed the officials' crimes. Their actions did not go unnoticed. Both the Red Roses and the Black Panthers were furious, suspecting betrayal within their ranks. Marco and Carlos were forced to flee, pursued by their old allies. Despite the dangers, they continued their fight against the city's corruption. Their exploits won them a following among both disillusioned gang members and ordinary citizens. Marco and Carlos became symbols of hope in a city buried in darkness. In a final, daring move, Marco and Carlos planned a heist to steal a shipment of illegal weapons destined for the gangs. There was much danger involved in this heist, which ended in a dramatic fight at the docks. As gunfire echoed across the water, the situation took a deadly turn. Carlos and Marco were cornered, their backs against a stack of crates. In the midst of the chaos, a grenade was thrown towards them. Without hesitation, Carlos made a split-second decision. With a look of resolute determination, he threw himself onto the grenade, absorbing the blast with his body. The explosion was loud, and Marco could only watch in horror as his friend made the ultimate sacrifice. Carlos's act of bravery saved Marco and allowed their allies to secure the weapons, crippling the gang's power and striking a significant blow against the city's criminal underworld. Marco cradled his dying friend in his arms, tears streaming down his face. Carlos, with his last breath, whispered, "Make this city better, Marco." Carlos's death was a turning point for Marco. Devastated but resolute, Marco vowed to honor his friend's sacrifice. In memory of Carlos, he established the Carlos Memorial Rehabilitation Center, a place dedicated to helping those who wished to leave the world of crime and find a new path in life. But Marco's fight didn't end there. Fueled by a burning desire for justice, he took on a new identity, a vigilante known as the Guardian. By night, Marco donned a mask and used his sharp wit and combat skills to protect the innocent and fight crime, much like a modern-day Batman. The Guardian became a legend in the city, a symbol of hope and justice. Marco worked undercover, dismantled criminal operations, exposed corrupt officials, and ensured that Carlos's sacrifice was never forgotten. He became a beacon of light in a city once consumed by darkness, inspiring others to stand up and fight for what was right. Carlos's legacy lived on through the rehabilitation center and Marco's vigilantism, a testament to the transformative power of friendship, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of justice. True friendship and sacrifice have the power to transform lives and inspire change. Even in the darkest times, acts of compassion and bravery can lead to redemption and justice. Carlos's ultimate sacrifice for his friend exemplifies that the greatest love is shown through selfless acts, proving that one person's courage can ignite a movement towards a better future. As we wrap up this episode, always remember, there is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends.